Mhm. Hello, everybody, or at least those of you here with me tonight. I wanted to do something a little different, something a little lighter, mostly because I worked 12 hours today, and today's going to be probably a short stream because I have to get up really early for work in the morning. But without further ado, here's Monster Loves You, Part 1. Help me begin your story. How does it go again? Long ago, deep in the forest, monsters call the whale mist. That's right, long ago, nestled in the heart of the forest was the monster village of Omen. You are born from slime that holds the memory of monsters known for. Hmm. We'll go with words and thoughts for our first one. I was gonna do this as like a community thing, but here we are. You're not awake yet, but soon your first eye will open. Your simple dreams will give way to life itself. Your dream of. Mm, Helping the sick and soothing the woeful. We'll get some kindness. Your body is turning and twisting, growing solid in the middle of a great vat of green slime. It's time to be born. Now, be born. I guess we'll do that. You awaken in the thawing season when the ground is soft and wet. Your eyes opening, you're a morsel. Just barely born, you float in a spawning vat. Dozens of other morsels are exploring, flailing, and stealing food from each other. We'll try to swim. Another morsel swims towards you. It opens its mouth to show a set of small, sharp teeth. It bites you. Let's do that one. You pause, unable to believe that another morsel is trying to eat you. After a moment, you snap out of it and start to move again. We're gonna unite other morsels to repel the attack. You speak, your words are simple, but some of the morsels understand you. They converge on the biter. His aggression will not stand. Not here, at least. Your tiny, slimy flotilla frightens the bad morsel away, retreats to the far end of the spawning vat. Splash, flutter, splish, squeak. Another morsel is too weak to swim properly. It's sinking towards the bottom of the spawning vat. Oh no, that's terrible. Let's be nice. You feel a deep sense of injustice at the smaller morsel's impending demise. If only you could do something about it. Well, we're going to. You swim to the morsel, determined to act. Well, let's get under the morsel and push it up. Actually, let's try to think of something. You rack your newborn brain. Wait, there. Some animal bones and sticks, rotting at the bottom, half hidden beneath the slime clumps. Let's prop this guy up. You swim to the bottom, casting about. You gather some sticks in the long, curving ribs of a deer. Actually, let's turn the sound up a little bit on this and see if that does anything. I'll check it later when I upload it to see how it changes. You swim to the bottom, casting about. You gather some sticks in the long, curving ribs of a deer. Let's get them jammed together. The morsel's own dissolving body holds everything together well enough. Half its body is above the surface of the slime. You swim in circles around the rescued morsel, keeping the cruel ones and biters away until your new friend begins to move and solidify. As you do, you feel dizzy. That's a first. You've never been dizzy before. Everything goes green. Well, I guess it's time to wake up. Your friend is gone, but not dead. Another morsel points to the edge of the spawning vat. While you slept, the weak one grew into a monsterling. You've grown too big for the spawning vat. You must move on to the next stage of life and become a monsterling. Let's do it. You're going to get into some trouble, which is great. Exercise your bravery, cleverness, ferocity, kindness, and honesty. What kind of monster will you be? Think we already decided for this first time what it is we're going to be. Adventure awaits. You know, I believe all of these do have something to do with the picture, but let's pick the question mark. Smark sits quietly by himself in the furthest, darkest corner of the cave. He's slumped and deflated like a float pod, missing half the gas inside. His eye brims with slimy tears. Let's ask him what's wrong. Snark looks down at his body, which isn't roly-poly or muscular like other monsterlings. He's sort of scrawny and weak. Let's tell him he's going to be alright, because here in our land, it's okay to not be like everyone else. Different's good sometimes. Trust me. Remember, we're all monsterlings, and we're going to grow up to be monsters, and that's great. You rub Smark's bony shoulders and whistle a cheerful tune. Smark sighs and nods. Let's go on some more adventures. We can't do the question mark again, so... What do we want to do? Let's do this one. You're chatting with Gobclaws in Bliss Tree when a foul stench wafts in. Monsterlings all over the cave are shivering and holding their noses. I wonder what the smell is. Who knows? Could be something good. It's Blots. Gobclaw says, someone's gotta tell him he stinks, but not the way monsters should. Blots sees your groups and makes his way over. Gobclaws and Bliss Tree retreats. Yeah, we're gonna talk to Blots about it. Honesty, always best. You spread your claws in a friendly way, and Blots sits next to you. Blots pouts. Why'd they run away? Yes, let's do it this way. You begin to tell the story of the cleanest monster, a shining paragon of hygiene and delightful scents. You can almost hear the sounds of bathing. Let's keep going with this story, boys. You end with, but I only made up the cleanest monster, who is not you. You stink, Blots. We need to wash you. And you do. Well, it's one problem down. Huh. Well. Our cleverness score is decent, 24. Probably nothing to scoff at. Ferocity of 0, kindness of 9, or honesty of 9, kindness of 18. Let's go on another adventure. I actually want to pick the cup this time. Big old Hamrag comes to the cave with a box full of metal cans. Who's that? He says, "It's drink or douse day. These cans are full of what the humans call soda pop." Monsterlings drink soda pop? Bubbly liquid sugar? You bet. But they also like to see who can chug the most, or endure the most exploding metal cans at once. This one's a little hard for me. Drink or douse? Let's drink. You drink a can of soda pop. Refreshing. And some more, you drink another can. Woohoo! Those bubbles are building up in your belly. Not a problem for our monster. The third can of soda pop is tricky to chug, but chug you do. This one isn't sweet, but it's still full of bubbles, and so are you. Let's quit before something bad happens. Cleverness. Always. We only have so many of these that we can do. So, the next one, let's pick that thing. A tiny cat scampers into the cave, followed by a worried Mumpsy Moral. The cat leaps and climbs, coming to rest on a high ledge. The little cat sits on its high ledge, licking one paw and staring down at Mumpsy Moral. Mumpsy stares back at the cat. Is he writing a story about the cat? She might be. She doesn't look hungry. Regardless, the little cat seems upset that it wasn't consulted in the matter. Let's climb for the cat. The small cat moves with blinding speed, leaping from ledge to outcropping to stalagmite to boulder. Let's just chase it a little longer. It leads you on a long, scary chase, but it eventually tires out. You jump down with the cat. You stand before Mumpsy Moral. Holding the little cat, she says, "Oh, thank you." Well, let's give her the cat. Mumpsy says, "Well done, little one. I'm going to put a note about this in the next issue. And, boys, we're gonna be famous." It says we've got 5 days left, so what do we do next? Let's do the liquid, I guess? You notice a puddle of glowing slime at the back of the cave. It pulses like a heartbeat. Blots shoves you towards it, daring you to eat it. Don't be a human baby. Let's give this to Blots, indeed, but how? Tell Blots he can eat it himself. You snort at Blots, refusing to take the bait. He frowns but looks thoughtful. It's scary, isn't it? The way it shudders. After a while, the slime evaporates. Or did it crawl away while you weren't looking? Oh, that's that would be weird. You are halfway towards leaving, becoming an adolescent. Firm up your personality as much as you can. Let's see here. I'm gonna choose the deer because I like the animals. You hear clattering, then flapping. A deer tumbles in through the cave entrance with Blisstree trapped in its antlers. How did she get stuck in the deer? Or how did the deer get stuck around her? Wow, that would be weird. Deer and monsterlings are traditionally curious about each other. Blisstree probably flew up and perched on him. Then, things got crazy. Let's see. Let's calm the deer. Soothed by the tone of your voice and the gentle touch of your claws, the deer kneels long enough for you to free Blisstree. The deer rushes off. Blisstree thanks you, then limps off to tend to a pair of wounded wings. Sorry, Blisstree, but sometimes it's what you get. Let's double check. 27 bravery, not bad. 30 cleverness. No ferocity, because you're not going for that. 9 honesty. And 42 kindness. Well, looks like we're playing extra kind people today. You follow a thudding noise to find Sickle and Lapper hitting animal skulls with sticks. Nash tends to one side, judging their stands to one side, judging their performance. Join the contest as a musician. Nash walks this way and that, watching as you take your position behind the skull of a bear. You think she's looking for weakness. Who cares about skill? Play from the heart. Cleverness? Well, you drum as hard as you possibly can. Your sticks break and the skull shatters. Lapper and Sickle yelp in pain, but Nash likes it. Let's do it this way. Sickle claps you on the back while Nash chases Lapper away. You notice that Sickle broke one of her sticks too, but Lapper didn't break any. Well, 45 bravery, 35 cleverness, still 0 ferocity, 9 honesty, and 42 kindness. I'd like to get some more honesty out of this, but who knows? Let's choose the rock pile this time. Some monsterlings are building little stone towers. Blotz comes to you with a heaping armload of smooth rocks. Do you think this is enough to build a tower? Let's give him the honest answer. You count them and consider the problem in your head before telling him he has just enough. Blotz beams happily and waddles off to try building a tower. It's not a pretty tower, but it's the right size. Remember, looks aren't everything. And now, let's do the food. Hamrag, an older monster, brings a big sack full of squirming rats into the cave. As he heads to the spawning vat, he trips and all the rats spill out onto the floor. I'm gonna guess that this one is ferocity, but it could be kindness. We'll help him catch some. You race this way and that, catching rats and tossing them into Hamrag's bag. He pats you on the back. Accept his praise. Ooh, respect. That's new. That's not something I actually have a thing down here for, so Guess we're just gonna have to remember that one. Hamrag says, "Nicely done. Could have just eaten them, but you saved them for everyone. You might be worth raising after all. Hamrag gives you an extra rat to eat, and eat it we shall." No, my, you wake up and find that you're no longer a little monsterling. You are growing up. Boy, are we. Elder Marinus calls the oldest monsterlings to gather in a group. You're one of the oldest ones now, so you should join them. She looks grave. Let's go with her. Marinus shuffles down the long tunnel, turning this way and that among dozens of forking passages. Let's just keep going. Marinus stops in a warm, humid chamber with a pit in the floor. She points to the pit, which sees with thick mist. Yeah, you know what? Let's jump in for the bravery. You fall and fall some more and fall and you're falling and other monsterlings are falling. Some of them are even crying and you can't see through the mist. Or is it fog? Maybe clouds? Moans, groans, and whispering screams. Where is this? It must be somewhere. You land on smooth, flat stone. Despite the swirling vapor, the floor is dry as a bone. You hear other monsterlings breathing nearby. Some of them are still above you, still falling. Let's try to cushion some of their falls. Oof! And you don't see who you helped. Whoever it is rolls away into the thick fog without a word. You rejoin some of the monsterlings at the edge of the mist. There are more passages out of here than you can count. Some monsterlings begin to panic, while others look determined. Oh, let's take charge. The other monsterlings watch you, curious. Let's help everyone work together. Remember, no person is ever alone. And so long as, you're willing to reach out to, it doesn't just have to be anyone or everyone, just to others. You lead the other monsterlings in a rousing song. Putting aside their trepidation, they advance into the twisting passages. Soon, you have all convened in a cavern full of even thicker mist. The chamber swirls with mist, smoke, fog, vapor. Except, it's not any of those things. It's ghosts, hundreds of them, large and small. They're everywhere. One by one, the pale ghosts begin to turn their attention to you. Their eyes glow different colors. Let's stand fast. The ghosts speak in many voices, all hollow and distant, all in uniform. They ask you, do you fear? Let's wait and say nothing. The ghosts stare into and through you as though you're the one made of mist. One sharp voice speaks from behind you. Why are you here? Let's lecture them about the monster life cycle. Take a deep breath and begin to explain how monsterlings make the change into adolescent monsters. Stress is like heat, cooking our minds and bodies so they can enter a new state of being. Weirdly enough, the same kind of stress helps people grow. Continue to explain things. Go on. First, our growing bodies must be destabilized so we can take on our more diverse forms. And then we must... I'm sorry. I forgot what I was... Here's how we're doing. Not so bad. Not so bad at all. You wake up inside a well-appointed hovel. This is your home now. Let's start living as an adolescent monster. This is Gobclaws? Well, let's look around. Maybe there's more to... Morton. Let's enter the big bad world. And let's adventure in town. Well, in my fashion, I'm gonna choose this one first. Elder Marinus leads you, Blisstree, and Virok into the forest. She points to a stand of purple berry bushes and says, "Eat your fill." Let's eat only some of the berries. You exercise restraint, consuming berries until you're full and no more. Elder Marinus says, "It's alright, you can eat more if you want to." Let's just hold back. Bravery minus, but a cleverness bonus. Looks like Virok gorges himself on berries, eating and eating until his skinny little body is plump and quivering. Blisstree has stopped eating, just like you. Well, let's see what happens next. Marinus rolls Virok back into town, where the young monster is squeezed until all his slime is oozed out. The slime is purple and delicious. Really weird, but is he okay? He's unconscious, but he seems to be no worse for the wear. What happened to the berry slime juice? Elder Hamrag makes pancakes for everyone, and the sticky purple stuff turns out to make a delicious syrup. This is still a little weird. Let's see what our bravery is at now. 47, that's still not a bad. 59 cleverness. Still at 0 ferocity. Not the worst thing in the world. 24 honesty. And 69 kindness. Let's do this one. A small crowd gathers in the square. Prudence and Gritmitten are in some kind of argument. Let's go see what they're arguing about. Nashnas whispers to you. Gritmitten says he saw a human wearing a coat made from a monster's hide. What? Prudence said she saw it too, but it was just a costume. You watch the elders and discuss the situation, calmly and quietly, with only a little clawing and spitting. Do we offer help, or do we just investigate? Let's offer some help. You step forward, ready to help, but the elder monsters don't even seem to notice you there. Their attention is on the problem, not on the younger monsters in the street. The debate rises into shouting and rock throwing a few times, but it's mostly civil. Prudence keeps shaking her head and smiling, as though Gritmitten is a fool or a monsterling. What does that do to Gritmitten's temper? This makes Gritmitten's temper flare like lightning, naturally. Gritmitten says humans have made clothing out of monsters. Prudence insists that he's mistaken. Neither shows any sign of backing down. The other elders wander away. Perhaps now they'll listen to us? They do seem to be paying attention to you. Yes. Let's support Prudence. I don't actually think that the humans are wearing monster skins. Prudence nods to you and says, "See, I'm always right. Humans wear clothes all the time. This fool just thinks some animal's hide is from one of us. Some slimy animal, perhaps? Yes, like a big, furry snail. Maybe we're not so smart after all." "74 cleverness. That's the kind of thing we want to see. 70s. Some of this stuff actually does pass on. So... let's pick this one. You're not sure exactly how, but the conversation in Portland Square has turned into a bragging contest. Suddenly, everyone looks at you, waiting. Let's refuse the boast. They all watch as you turn and swagger away, clearly impressed by your attitude and confidence. That was quick. Mupsy Moral slithers up to you and says, I wonder if you can confirm a rumor for me. Well, let's talk to Mupsy. Amrag was baking a special 6 pork pie made from 6 kinds of pig. You know, a delicacy. They were roast suckling piglets, so tender, juicy, and flavorful. The pie was cooling on a windowsill and vanished. Your friend Nash Nash was seen nearby just before, but not after the vanishing. What do you think about this? Well, I think this one may be the honesty, so let's do it. Mupsy snatches some notes on a piece of scratches some notes on a piece of torn paper. Golly. Sleep is important. Remember. Interesting. What would you say about Nash Nash as a person? Well, let's tell the truth. Nash Nash is a violent thug with no regard for rules. Mupsy smiles. This is exactly what monsters will want to hear. She scratches a few more notes and slithers away. Later, Nash Nash visits your hovel, holding a freshly printed copy of the Omen Harbinger. When she leaves, you have 100 new paper cuts. Well, sometimes the truth will get you in trouble, but tell the truth. It's always the better way to go. Let's just do the monster ones. Outside your house, Nash Nash charges from a nearby bush and sends you tumbling. Challenge! She screams at the top of her voice. It's on! Oh, let's take turns slapping each other. The fight goes on for what seems like hours. You both give up when your arms get tired. It's a draw. I think there was more to that one, but we'll see eventually. Nash Nash is picking on a tiny bliss tree. She gets knocked down every time she gets up. Nash Nash asks if you want to help. Ask her what she's doing to Bliss Tree. Shrugs. I feel like it. Look at those tears. Interesting. Nash Nash is picking on the tiny Bliss Tree. She gets knocked down every time she gets up. Nash Nash asks if you want to help. Yeah, let's fight Nash Tree instead. Without even a thanks, Bliss Tree runs away, leaving you and Nash Nash to tussle in the street. Do you push the attack? Yeah, not so long as Bliss Tree is safe. You turn and walk away. Nash Nash tackles you from behind and begins slashing your back with her claws. Two of you struggle until you're both hurt. Too badly to continue. Nash Nash says, "Good fight." We gained a little bit of ferocity in our teenage years as a monster. Probably not as important, but well, let's do this one. You hear screams, shrieks, and cheers. And you come running. The oldest monster is fighting a challenger. Even the elder monsters flee to a safe distance. They know this could turn out badly. Yeah, let's try to stop the fight. Roar! You plunge in, swiping at everyone in a vain attempt to break things up. Both great beasts pause and look down at you, a little confused. The oldest monster opens its tripartite mouth and emits a keening wail, then slices one of the purple challenger's tentacles off without looking. As blood showers down around you, the elders cry out in terror. Well, let's stand up to him. Only one cleverness loss. Not bad. Seriously, you just stepped into a fight with the oldest monster. He just literally disarmed the other monster without breaking a sweat. Well, yeah. He could probably eat all of Omen, and you're standing up to him? I mean, Marinus puffs herself up and rolls between the fighters like a great spiny boulder, trying to grab you and pull you out of there. The oldest monster's tail twitches barely, and Marinus is knocked away like a ball, deflating and bleeding. Well, now it's time to run away. You get 2 steps before the purple challenger snaps you up in his jaw. Just before he can chew, the oldest monster rips his head clean off and hurls it away. Well, let's stand tall. Ooh, cleverness -6. No, you nearly poop yourself out of fear, and now nobody will meet your eyes. Well, let's see what our cleverness actually went down to. 67. Yeah. I mean, could be worse. Let's do the jaws. You see Jaggery in a haze of buzzy, angry yellow bees. It looks like he stole a beehive off a tree and took it home. You can see why. Honey is irresistible. Jaggery motions to you to help him. Yeah, let's help him out. Just standing there thinking about it, you get stung twice. The bees are getting angrier and angrier. Jaggery frowns and asks, "What do we do?" Let's put the hive near the smokehouse. It worked. The bees fall asleep and you get a double claw full of stinger-free honey. Sounds good to me. Adolescence is fleeting. It sure is. It definitely is. You've grown beyond youth and have become an adult. Happens slower for some than others. You've been dragged from your bed by your friends and neighbors. What? Who the? Where? Why now? They tell you it's time to grow up. You're taken into the woods. The neighbors throw you into the center of a great circle of monsters, all older than you. They whisper to each other, then look at you, then whisper some more. Oh, let's get on getting on. The monsters murmur and mother, spit and snarl. They're deciding what best defines you as a monster. Well, let's wait. After a while, the muttering stops, though the muttering goes on for some time longer. Finally, the assembled monsters come to a decision. The ring of monsters shuffles closer to you, forming a tighter circle. Elders loom over you while the smaller adults crouch low. Your surroundings grow shadowy and dark. Yeah, let's do our part. And the other monsters hold you in some respect, 6 out of a possible 100 points. Well, definitely not a lot, but it is immediately clear to the crowd that you are very kind for a monster. The crowd shoves 2 monsterlings in a circle, each with a broken arm, and Elder asks you to take care of them. Well, let's gently tend to their wounds. Yes, you croon and pet the monsterlings until they grow drowsy, then splint their damaged limbs in silence. They leave quietly, feeling much better. Everyone cheers. Well, let's accept the respect and move on. 11%, not a lot. but we've still got 70s and 80s for quite a few things, so I'll accept it. Well, you're an adult now. You'll grow stronger over time, but your personality is no longer as mutable as it was when you were younger. Onward, towards adulthood. Cleverness, ferocity, cleverness, ferocity. Let's politic with some monsters. Let's do the broken arm. The spine doctor is treating two injured monsters in Portland Square. She breaks off her own quills and uses them like sewing needles. A little iron pot boils over a small fire. But it's just water. The doctor seems to have run out of something. Now let's offer to get involved. You join the spine doctor who accepts your help approvingly. How will you aid her? Let's offer to get the medicine. The doctor nods to you and sends you to her hovel for a big clay jar. When you bring it back, she opens the lid, revealing hundreds of leaves, twigs, dead bugs, and human pills. She selects a few by feel alone and feeds them to the patients who soon stir. Well, let's politic again. And let's do this one. You look over your garden. Garden? We've got a garden? Most hovels have gardens. Many monsters don't care, but some like to show off their herbs, spices, and flowers. Well, how's ours looking? There are so many rocks there, even if you don't feel like planting things, it looks bad. These rocks ought to go. Let's kick some of the rocks. These rocks are surprisingly hard. Well, it's really only surprising when you forget they're rocks. There are so many rocks there, even if you don't feel like planting things, it looks bad. Well, let's start digging anyways. All this work is a lot harder than you expected. You're not a natural digger, like Molefoot or Shovel. A Shovel? Not all monsters pick good names. Just be glad you're not one of them. Well, let's keep at it for a while. You dig, and dig. It's hard, but you eventually get better at it. Well, let's dig some more. When you're done, the garden looks much better. All that digging turned over the earth, too. It's probably a good thing. Ooh, respect. The spine doctor, out for a stroll, stops to compliment your work ethic. I'm not sure what an ethic is, but she always talks like that. Oh, we've got a lot of days left. Let's keep up the politics. Gobclaws shows off a human doll she found in the last hunt. A crowd of elders and other monsters gathers around you, chattering excitedly. She asks if you think it might be good to show the doll to some of the monsterlings. Let them see a human-shaped thing without actually seeing a real human. You know, educational. Sure, why not? Gobclaws can see that you're bringing some science here. She hangs on your words, as does the rest of the crowd. I don't know, humans are cuddly and cute. Gobclaws nods to you, then turns back to the real conversation with the monsters who aren't being quite so silly. Oh, we missed out on something there. The door. You hear a cry from a nearby hovel. What's happening over there? Saswait, a new adolescent, doesn't understand how the windows in her hovel work. She's trapped her paws under a heavy pain. Well, let's free her from the window. You walk over and take a look. This should be easy for a grown-up monster like you. Well, let's lift it up. Saswait seems afraid of you, but these things happen. She thanks for you. This may actually be a typo. She thanks you for releasing her from the window. You notice a small crowd is gathered. Oh, let's help her. You tend to Saswait's bruise with a salve made from flowers and mushrooms. Soon she feels no pain at all. The crowd applauds your helpfulness. Well, let's see what our kindness actually is. 100. That means we shouldn't have to make another, go at that. All of Omen is abuzz. Elders glare angrily at everyone, and look back at the broken sign at the town gate. You look down at the little piece of the sign you're holding, and blush. Wait, what did we do again? Coming back from a hunt, you were so full of high spirits that you jumped up and slapped the sign. You just slapped a little too hard with your claws. All of Omen is abuzz. That's the first one again. Blistry spots the bit of sign that you're holding. Hey, don't tell anyone you broke it. It'll get fixed. This'll all blow over. It's just an ill wind that blows. Nobody any good. Bygones will be bygones. Blistry is often accused of thinking she knows everything. This includes human cliches. All of them. Blistry says, I can take care of this. Look. I took a bit of the sign, too. I can slip some into Virok's hair when he isn't looking. Nobody ever believes him, since he's always lying and stealing things. And I'm gonna turn, actually, the sound down a little bit on it and see how that works in, the after recording. So, Blistry says, I can take care of this. Look, I took a bit of sign too. I can slip some into Virok's hair when he isn't looking. Nobody will ever believe him, since he's always lying and stealing things. Now, let's come forth and admit our crime. We lose some respect, gain some honesty. All the gathered elders scowl at you. They take turns chewing you out, which for monsters is a more literal expression than you might expect. Ragged and bloody, you creep back to your hovel to heal. You take solace in the fact that your honor is intact. You messed up, but you told the truth, and everyone will remember that. That is the thing to take from this. Truth. Always better than lies. Always. Trust me. You will thank yourself in the long run. Let's actually explore this time. Let's choose the laughing. The laughing monster that we can't choose because it's over here. You spy a wolf pacing outside a small wooden cabin. From within the building, you hear the bleating of goat kids. The wolf accepts your offer of assistance. He growls, I'm glad you're reasonable. Some monsters would just attack me. It's the wolf's lucky day then. The wolf snarls. How should we finish this hunt? I can block them while you climb. Got any better ideas? Let's lure them out with a clever ruse. Oh, our cleverness is maxed. Good. You and the wolf pretend to fight, going so far as to draw blood with your jaws and claws, and then run off in opposite directions. Then we lurk. The goat kids emerge from the cabin, relieved to escape their fate, and you and the wolf close in on them from your hiding spots. Now let's kill them. Ferocity is something we don't have a lot of. You slaughter the goat kids and eat them up. The wolf leaves with one carcass in his jaws to share with his pack. Bravery 77. Cleverness is maxed. Our kindness should still be maxed. Our honesty is not. So, let's do some monster politics. You sit with Nash Nash and Gobclaws on a tattered red blanket, eating cookies and talking about artifacts. Yeah, let's continue the discussion. Gobclaw sighs. I really like artifacts. I want a nice big collection, but it seems like I can never find any good ones. You and Nash Nash exchange glances. Well, let's take a glance. Nash Nash runs a claw along the handlebars of her little scooter. You both know some good spots. Now let's tell her about the good spots. You open your mouth and gasp as Nash Nash kicks you hard. Nash Nash whispers, that'll be less stuff for us. I don't care if you have less stuff, but if I do, you're in big trouble. She pokes you with her claws to make her point. Tell her anyways. Gobclaw clicks her pincers happily. As she does a little dance of thanks, she scuttles off into the woods to check out the places you describe. And what about Nash Nash? Oh, she makes good on her promise of big trouble in the form of a thorough drubbing. You crawl back to your home exhausted and bleeding. Oh, you got some more honesty out of it. Now let's explore some more. Now we can do this one. A flock of geese are in the square. No honk. One can talk. Honk. About did honk. Nash Nash screams. Last one to drive them away is the loser. And she's on that human scooter she found. Yeah, let's hunt down the coolest secret weapon of our own. You run to Hamrag's hovel and steal or borrow the fox pelt he uses as a doormat. Plunking it on your head, you run towards the geese, growling and yipping. The geese swarm you. Oh no! You can think of two good options. Yeah, let's out honk the geese. You honk so loudly, the geese think you to be the boss goose and follow you to the nearest pond. Nash Nash accepts the loss and scoots off. Scoots off on the scooter. Well, let's keep exploring, everyone. The sword. You find a red hood and a basket in the middle of a forest path. A human house is nearby. Funny, you never noticed it before. There's a white picket fence out front. Let's circle around the house. There's a great deal of blood in the yard, along with a half-dead wolf coughing weakly. Well, let's ask the wolf what happened. Woodcutters, friend. You can't trust them. Beware their axes, even worse than knives, the wolf finishes dying. Let's bow in respect. You're not sure if you're respecting the human capacity for killing or the wolf's perfectly timed last words, but before you can come to a decision, you've grown bored. Well, let's take it and eat it then. You haul the strangely heavy carcass back home. The elder points out a sewn up Nash down the wolf's belly and says it was good work. Let's admit it was somebody else's. The elder's impressed with your honesty and says so. You open the gash and find stone inside the wolf. How odd. That is odd. I'm not sure who fills a carcass with stones. Let's do the foot. You and Nash Nash encounter the Proud Bear. This is an honor and a problem. The Proud Bear's killed monsters. Something rare in the animal kingdom. He stares at you. Let's nod and leave. The bear doesn't move. You go back the way you came. Huh. Let's do some more monster politics. Like this one. You hear Grit Mitten telling younger monsters about the human that almost killed him. It's the pointy parts that get you, he says. Always wait until the knife is pointing somewhere else. Then run away. He turns to you and says, isn't that right? Yeah, let's explain to them that a knife is always dangerous. Always remember. And don't point a knife at others. You calmly expand on Grit Mitten's tales, sharing what you've learned about the frightening blades of the humans. The young monsters promise that they will treat such things with respect, even if no one's holding one. Good idea. And now let's explore a little more. Ooh. You and Gobclaws come across an ant and a grasshopper, both locked in mortal combat. Each is biting the other's back leg. As you reach for the bugs, Gobclaw holds you back. Isn't there a legend about bugs and wheat? Maybe we should be careful. Well, monsters have no fear of such things. Let's divide the wheat between them. You make a pile for each insect. They stop fighting and take their share, glaring at each other the entire time. Gobclaw says, at least you didn't squash them in the middle of their story. True enough. 2 days left. And we're gonna pick the blood. You stalk the forest, hunting an elusive, swift elk. Suddenly it emerges from the underbush, lowering its antlers and pawing at the ground. It's going to charge. Perfect! The elk charges, and you duck under it, slashing a hole in its chest. But instead of a heart, you find nothing. The elk turns, catches you with its antlers, and flings you into a tree. Well, we probably deserved that. The elk bounds away. It's unkillable. There's nothing that's unkillable. You chase the elk until it pauses to drink from a stream. Then you spring at it without fear and tear it limb from limb, head from body, antler from skull. Its pieces are still twitching as you devour them and are filled with a strange heat, but it soon fades. Other monsters comment on the new swagger in your step as you return to Omen. Maxed bravery, maxed cleverness, maxed honesty, and maxed kindness. What's our ferocity at then? To 30. Not bad. More exploring. The Paw. The spine doctor has asked you to catch a special fox. It limps, she says, and it coughs. I need it. Quickly, if at all. After it! You go forth in the forest, tailing the fox. As you get closer, you catch a glimpse of its ragged ears between two trees. The fox is limping slowly. And as you draw near, you smell something sickly sweet. The fox slumps and vomits green matter onto the forest floor. Your claws tremble at the thought of touching it. We'll pursue it till we can no longer. Fox sickness can't harm a monster. The fox tries to scare you off at the last moment by throwing up again, but you snatch it in your claws. Well, let's present it. The doctor accepts the fox with delight. She nods to several patients waiting to see her. You see, friends, this one shows promise. Spine doctor squeezes the fox, forcing it to throw up into a row of rat cages. He says, now I can use the rats to make medicine. Now we can cure animals we care about. Good. And with no days left, let's politics. You're growing old, my friend. Your body is very soft, and you drip slime everywhere you go. You're getting hard to leave your hovel. Well, let's go see the spine doctor. The doctor tells you that your time is almost up. You'll soon reach the end of adulthood, and you will either ascend to elder status or dissolve into slime. Let's return and prepare. A group of elders is waiting at the door of your hovel. They've seen your drippings. They know it's time for you to dissolve or descend. Now let's go with them and either dissolve or descend. Or ascend, not descend. The elders of Omen surround you at the spawning vat. They've built a fire beneath a small cauldron. Your body is squishy and damp. Well, let's be tested and try to ascend. A masked elder comes forward. She says, "It's time to decide." All the elders growl and snarl. The masked elder claws herself. 3 drops of liquid splatter against the hot bottom of the empty cauldron. Thick vapor rises into the air. Well, let's listen. Masked elder asks, "Who has already decided the fate of this monster?" A few of the elders approach the cauldron to add fluid to the collection. The liquid begins to bubble. The masked elder has placed 5 flat stones on the ground before you. She says, "Choose one. Chance will guide your claw." Well, let's take a look at the stones. Each stone is stained with old blood and polished by the touch of many a paw. You can't tell one stone from another. Well, let's just pick one that looks good. The other side of the stone is etched with a crude glyph. It shows a monster frowning in concentration. The masked elder says, "We will test your cleverness." The masked elder emits a series of musical whistles and clicks, then performs a complex dance. "You've never seen these steps before," she says. "Now, what do you do?" Let's copy every noise and movement. "Yeah, you are a dancing fiend." Polite applause washes over the crowd. Several monsters howl their approval and step forward, adding more fluids to the iron cauldron. Let's choose the next stone. The other side of the stone is etched with a crude glyph. It shows a monster facing down a human. The masked elder says, "We will test your bravery." Elders add sticks and dry leaves to the fire until it grows huge and hot. They remove the cauldron and retreat before the roaring flames one by one until only one remains. Well, let's try to stay near the fire. It's hot, very hot, and your body begins to pull away on its own. You gather your will and remain in place. Your excess slime begins to dry out and crack, but as the fire dies down, you're still there. Several monsters howl their approval and step forward, adding more fluids to the iron cauldron. You hold the cauldron, which contains the portentous infusion. It's heavy. Oh, let's look at the cauldron. Well, let's drink it and see if it goes. You drink the bubbling concoction, then belch and howl. Your body solidifies almost instantly. You are an elder now. Huh. Cool. You're now an elder. You are welcome in Snack, the oldest of the monster towns. In this stage of life, if you play your cards right, you'll be able to affect both the way monsters view humans and vice versa. Use your powers of persuasion wisely. Huh. Well, let's politic with some monsters here. Let's choose the cabin. Listry proposes a new plan to keep an eye on the humans. Oh, what is it? We'll take over an abandoned house in Carmen. Keep someone in there at all times and take extensive notes on everything they do. Well, that's interesting. Several other elders seem to like the idea very much. They argue about where to establish their spy house, though. Carmen has many empty buildings. Well, let's suggest a place that will encourage understanding. The expedition sets out immediately, hiding in the unused upper floor of the library. They observe humans reading and learning. Let's make sure they see that humans are smart. In short order, several elders learn to read for the first time. They seem impressed with their unsuspecting human subjects. Oh, look at this. Humans have a 38%. Monsters have a 38% view of humans. Humans have a 20% view of monsters. Let's continue some politics here. The Laughing Face. Greed Blitz, puffed up with multi-syllabic importance, addresses the other elders. My fellow monsterin, he begins. I propose we meet the humans halfway. What, in that meadow near the forest? No, he clears his throat. I think we should learn from them and adopt human ways to become more civilized. Agree and explain some human innovations. We've got the cleverness. Why not? You make a persuasive case. Under your tutelage, the other gathered elders learn much about organization, governing, the human way. Brood Cave. That monster is hilarious. Caution sign. Elder Riddy wants to stop using electricity from the humans. It's making us less monstrous, he explains. It is a human thing through and through. Well, we happen to know quite a bit about electricity. You shuffle forward and raise one claw, clearing your throat. All the elders turn to look. Riddy says, Ah, you agree with me? Now, let's describe why electricity is so great. Explain your point of view. Some of the younger elders start talking about doing more with electricity than just keeping things cold or well lit. Well, let's explain the good and the bad. You describe some of the things you've seen. Boxes with moving pictures, ways to send messages by clicking one's fingers on a board. The other elders believe you. Of course they do. I'm not thought of as a liar. They're fascinated. The group agrees to look into new ways to use electricity for the benefit of monster civilization. Riddy hisses and stalks away. Let's do the clever boys. You and some other elders are conversing when Virak walks up, proudly holding a toaster. Funny, you have a toaster just like that? Wait a minute, that dent, it's your toaster. Virak cows. Look what I found at the bus stop. We can take whatever we want from humans. Well, I guess that's something we definitely could do. Take from humans. But, I mean, let's just double check. Hello, Radar Nocturne. Thanks for the follow. You joined at like the very end, though. If you want to, you can always look up TechVash on YouTube. I'll be posting the whole stream afterwards. Virak crows. Look what I found at the bus stop. We can take whatever we want from humans. I read that again, just in case, for my own. Let's see. Let's claim monsters and humans both value truth. Honesty, always the best policy in my book. Virok tries to flee, but the other monsters stop him. You take back your toaster and step on his head for good measure. He says, "You're lying, but they trust you more than they trust him." That's because we're very trustworthy here. Let's see. Well, the monster love is at 82%, so let's journey to Carmen, the human town. See if we can make some things better here. You're in a secluded hiding place near the park. Suddenly, you see a human grab her stomach and fall over. Now's our time to shine. That's the spirit. What will we do? I could do either, so let's risk being seen by humans to seek help. Before long, you spy some humans playing a game with a ball and a small pony. Weird. Success! Jumping about, you call out the human medical words you know. Also, help! Before you know it, the empties arrive. Advanced neurosurgery +1, that's a new one for me. Oh. Well, welcome. I'm not sure which of my friends you are on Facebook, but I appreciate everyone viewing. They strap her to a board and put her in a white truck. One of them grabs your claw and shakes it firmly but gently before they all head off. You feel a growing sense of satisfaction. And back to Carmen. Well, yes, Brian, it's nice to see you. Especially here. So, what do you think we should do next? I was going to make the whole thing today a, viewer's choice. But since it ended up being mostly me here, I basically did it myself. So, what do you think we should do? I think I'm going to post way earlier in the day that I'm going to be streaming next time also, just so it gets to where it needs to. I'm not really sure what any of these are. Literally, I've been clicking the pictures because that's really what this game is about. Choices. Choose a random adventure. Let's do the cliff. You watch as an elderly human tries to fix his house. He looks up at the leaky roof with a sigh as it starts to rain and goes inside. Oh, let's see how bad the leak is. Looks like a trickle of water will get into the attic from this storm. It might do some damage to the human's house. He also left his tools out. So, which one do you think? I'm thinking here that we could do any of these. We've got 100 in everything except for ferocity, so we can brave the rain and repair the roof, or protect the tools. Brave the rain. Good choice. Humans' views of monsters +18. That's actually quite a bit. And this one was a success. He hears us hammering away above. He emerges just as we leap away. The repairs finished. And this is basically where we're at. We're at the very end of the stream, unfortunately, but the monster's views of humans is at 82%, which is in the green, and the human views of monsters is in 46%. We can raise the monster's views of humans or the humans' views of monsters. it does affect the ending. So, Politic is the one for monsters. Journey to Carmen is the one for humans. It actually does change the ending, too. Like in 8 days, there's a conflict between the two. That I do know. Alright. Well, if we're journeying to Carmen, I say we either do the hidden one or the hug one. Those are the ones that I would like to do. You're hiding in a shiny wood building. 2 humans are holding hands in front of another human. He makes a lot of noise about a witness. The other 2 look around, disappointed at an empty room. So, offer to be the witness, or seek out human witnesses? I say we offer to be the witness. So, they're delighted. The humans all take turns talking. And talking. And talking. And, well, talking? Yes, eventually the 2 holding hands make kiss faces at each other. They sign a paper and hand it to you. Well, let's do the same. You make a pretty squiggle. Beautiful. The pair thanks you profusely and you bow. Whoops. Your hat fell off. Humans' view of monsters plus 18. The humans gasp, but you stand your ground, unafraid. After a moment, they thank you. See? 64. You can see the face turn to a smile. So, these are both good. With 7 days left? Yeah, I agree. Back to Carmen. So, this is actually a puddle, a swiping claw, a footprint, running, the face. I'm not really sure what that one actually is. The hiding monster. Yes. You sneak up to an open window. A human sits on an overstuffed chair. Her back is to a desk covered in, wait a minute, it's maps. Red X's with red X's on them. They're showing off locations of the monster towns alongside a badly drawn sketch of a monster with a knife stuck through it. What do you do? Actually, we could do technically all of these, but I do know that this one will alter the humans' views of us in a negative manner. Not always bad. Not always bad. But I think we should confront her even though she could kill us. You remember that some humans really like gifts. You gather an offering of stinkweed and corn husks to return to knock on the front door of the house. Okay. Well, this'll be nice for us at least, probably not for them. Stinkweed. Ugh. She answers and yelps with surprise at the sight of you. Well, we'll give her the bouquet. You shove it in her face. Still, she seems to find the situation more curious than frightening. For me? Yeah, why not? Humans' view of monsters plus 8. She looks bewildered but touched. She utters a quick thanks, hesitating before retreating to her home. And, well, Yeah, this game has some funny moments. Um, Let me ask you, since you'll be able to hear it more than I can, the sound of the game, is it okay in comparison to the voice? I've been messing with it for like 4 or 5 days, so... Also, here's the thing. Oh, you only hear me. Well, let's see here. I'm going to turn the sound of the game up a bit. You tell me how that sounds. Ah! Look. As long as you can hear me over the music when I talk, that's what I'm going for. I want to be able to, like, view the games in their entirety. So, yes, there we go. So, now the question. Back to Carmen or to more monsters? And also this. Grrrr. This game is so, like, fantastic. This is actually Grit Mitten. He's one of the people we met in our childhood. So, let's try to politic then. Since blue guy with orange arms is a monster. Now, where to next? Oh, yes, the explosion. I think it's actually like the fight. Like an animated fight scene almost. Canillo Aslet, electrical genius, holds his abacus, turning the rocks for you and the other elders to see. The calculations don't lie. All humans find out about monsters in 2 months. These figures are rock solid. Literally. We should prepare new hiding places. Either we challenge it with headology, or we don't know enough to predict their actions. Both are technically way more than okay by us. These are things we can definitely achieve. Yeah, good enough. Canillo scoffs at you. I should remind you that I am far your elder. Among elders, and you, makent, wow, that's a word and a half. Sense. When you say, I makent sense. Whoa, that word brings my brain so many problems. I don't even know why. I can't even pronounce it properly, I bet. Point out that he doesn't even pronounce electrical correctly. Canillo considers, then speaks. You're right. What was I doing? I wasn't full of my own pridings. Yeah, it really is. Makent? Makent. That's probably what it is. Well, with 5 days left, do we try to max out the monsters, or do we raise the humans? Yeah, I agree. Carmen's probably a better bet. I say the eyeball ooh face. That's the one I'm going for this time. Smoke? Glow? crying? A human house is on fire? There's one small human child outside and is that a human baby inside? Ah. Well, I say we just take action. The little human skin is burned and its howls are weaker by the second. The heat is so fierce it's already starting to hurt you. Huh. Kindness is a thing that we actually focused on this, so I think we're going to give of ourselves to shield the baby from harm. You feel like the fire is inside you now, as well as all around you. You spit up as much slime as you can to protect the baby, but it stops breathing. Well, let's keep the child safe. You force what little breath you have left into the human child's lungs, shielding its body with your own as the flames grow hotter. Well, let's keep at it. It coughs and spits, then starts to wail. Humans are putting out the fire now, and you stagger to them, holding the baby for them to take. It clasps your claws with one tiny hand. This is the second time I've seen this. Advanced Neurosurgery +1. I'm not even sure what that does. Behind you, the humans cheer. If only every human felt this way about every monster. Well, they about to now. 90. That's not small. So, let's go back to Carmen. And now I'll let you choose. Where we go next? Alright, paw print it is. You decide to check out the Carmen Carnival. Mupsy recently mentioned. Following her map, you take lefts and rights and straight-ons until you look and... uh-oh. Humans everywhere. What's that noise and smell? And that over there, or that? Looks like an organ grinder, monkey poop, and mobs of human children? And a tiger. Wait. Oh, wait. A tiger? The tiger is running through the crowd. Right through the middle. Actually, that's because the crowd is scattering away from the tiger. Aren't humans afraid of tigers? I sure as heck am. Don't know about you? Definitely running from the next tiger that's running through a group of humans. Come to think of it, humans are scared of tigers and usually keep them in cages, don't they? So, we can fight the tiger or lure it away. Cleverness it is. You climb up to a bunch of floating balloons and, with a flex of your claws, pop them. Colored scraps fly everywhere. The tiger looks for the sound of the noise, spies you, and charges. You lead it out of town and away from the frightened, but now safe, humans. 98. That's a really high number. We can either max out humans or raise the monster views. I'm thinking it might be time to politic the monsters. So, indeed, I'm thinking one of these three over here. So, I'm gonna do this one for this time. Gritmitten shouts, "Might makes right." Proofrock replies, "Not always. We should talk more, like the humans do." I'm gonna say, we agree. Debate is powerful. It's the thing we've done thus far. You explain how humans can come to a decision, as a group, without slashing or biting anyone. The other elders are intrigued by your words. Monsters' view of humans maxed. When you start describing voting, they lose interest, but they agree that words hold great power. Then, now, without further ado, I say, Wild Mist? Wild Mist. Wild Mist is actually the name of the place we started out at. And now, let's journey to Carmen. So, Master Brian, what's next? I was actually hoping you'd say that one, because that's the one that I was wanting to do. The finger-raised one. An older human and many children sit in rows in a hot, echoing room. The older human drones on, while the children look at everything but him. The windows, the clock, even your hiding spot. Oh, what's the older human saying? He's telling them about lifeology. You know about that. But judging from his expression, he doesn't seem to find it very interesting himself. Let's show him how to teach. You burst into the classroom and everyone stops to stare at you for one precious moment. Nobody does anything. So, do we tell them about the workings of living things? Or the attitude behind doctoring? Cleverness, never a bad idea. Kindness, the thing we actually max out first, I think. Yes, it does. You begin by telling them that one must know one's own heart to work with the hearts of others. Very true. If you don't, you will find yourself making very many people miserable. The children listen as you go on about compassion and its use in healing. That's actually a good thing. They actually do teach that in a lot of schools of medicine. You explain how kindness is the only real virtue, the origin of all others, and by the time the class is over, you're hopeful that some of the children will go on to become doctors. You leave surrounded by thankful humans. And now, honestly, drop that beat like... like Rue was hot. Okay, I'm done. No more. I really want to see that one again. I'm going to push this until then. But we do have choices. This one, drop that beat like Rop Wheat. Rop Wheat Crete? That actually sounds correct. So, for our last one, do we politic the monsters or journey to Carmen? I know it's not as important, but it's still a part of our monster's life, so. I think it might be better to politic the monsters, mostly because we've been fairly monster-oriented this run. And now... I think we should do the angry monster over here and just make it done on this side. Leave these two for our next playthrough if we try it again. Yeah, let's do it. Elder Gobclaws rages as the other monsters. Man, I'm so tired. I've been up since like 6 o'clock this morning. She crushes some stray lizards as she screams, "Admit it! Humans are dangerous. Let's smash them to bits." Now, we could try to use the ferocity we have, which I think is like 30-something%, or we could use our honesty. They're dangerous, but could also be allies. This is very true of all humans. All of us have the capacity for danger. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Success! You list ways in which humans can kill monsters. But then you point out that they make artifacts, such as the one Gobclaws collects. She stares at you. She folds her arms and nods. The other monsters mumble and nod too. An elder in the back says, "You always speak the truth. I can hear it in your voice now." And now it'll give us the choice, but it says 0 days left up here, so no matter what we choose, it's going to be this. As you walk through Portland Square, you think on your past. Life hasn't always been easy, but you've built up your reputation. You're quite well respected. And yes, indeed, we truly are. 66%. It's not bad. Though monsters have always feared and loathed humans in the past, your work towards improving relations has paid off. Monsters have come to respect and like them. Well done. Meanwhile, humans who once hated all monster kind have come to understand that monsters aren't terrible, evil things. Rumor has it that humans think pretty well of you. As they should. We're kind people here. Shattering your reverie, a terrible commotion erupts. Elders and young monsters alike are milling about in a great mob. Blotz drops from a nearby roof. Humans! Humans are coming this way! Blisttree says, "That's wonderful. We can talk to them." And that's true. Relations have been warming up, so both monsters and humans meet deep in the whale mist. There is considerable shuffling of feet and paws. Everyone wants to talk, but no one wants to make the first move. If only monsters were to speak up. Yes, if only. A few of the other elders are looking at you, strangely enough. Well, let's welcome them as friends. We've done the work. Everyone breathes a sigh of relief as you put your best claw forward. This is the first step of a long journey. A journey on which monster and human will cooperate in all things. And well, what happens next? I'm not even really sure what this ending is, but that's it. And so monsters and humans worked, lived, and played together for so many happy generations to come. Hooray for the future. And this is us at the end. There are ways of maxing this, I'm pretty sure, in one playthrough, but I've never really done it. Well, I'm sorry that you happened to join at like the very end, but I do appreciate you stopping by. I mean, yeah. Listen, this game is cute, and sometimes I play this just because I need a slight uplift, so. And this game does have some replay value. What we could do is several things. I could play, not become one of the elders, and recycle monsters. Yes, if you want to send me that, probably on Facebook, because if you send it on the stream, it's actually going to be posted to my YouTube, so I would probably message me that personally on Facebook since we're friends there. And let's see if we can get together sometime. I'd be more than happy to let you join me on stream. A lot of people who I actually am friends with have actually already participated in this stream. Yes, we do. There's like an Among Us server that I'm on that we do on Saturday nights. But if you want to, I'll actually set up a day and you can join me on. I'll make a Discord of my own. You can join me for whatever game suits your fancy. I've done quite a bit here in the last week. Literally, I've streamed every day and posted it to YouTube. Look me up, TechVash. Same name as here. And, without further ado, thank you for joining me. I'm gonna head to bed since I have to be up at 6 in the morning. Good night!